Arsenal community, welcome back to AlbertJTV for another match review on the channel. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2. Plenty to discuss. But before we get into it, we'll be back after the intro. Arsenal community, you are locked into AlbertJTV. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Declan Rice's performance in that quarterfinal against France was elite level. Fantastic move personally. It kind of caught myself and probably Arsenal fans a bit left field in terms of Yes, Arsenal community, welcome back to AlbertJTV. Time of recording is Sunday the 14th of April. It is 10:23 and 36 seconds counting. I was going to do it tomorrow morning, but I wasn't able to do the review because of work commitments. But as I said in the intro, people, Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2. Arsenal have fluffed the Gunners. Rephrase that. The Gunners have fluffed their lines. So much to talk about, man. In terms of the title race, let me start with that before I sort of delve into the game. 8 games to go, 9 games to go. People were talking about the fixtures. Would any of them go on an unbeaten run and not get beat? I looked at the fixtures, home and away, for all teams, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and I thought there'd be drop points, and boy, there have been. In terms of Arsenal, looking at the remaining home games before the result today and the defeat at home to Aston Villa, I thought we'd win our home games. I thought that the issue would be with us if we were to drop points, we'll be away from home. I did not see that coming today. We were buoyed, obviously, by the result at Anfield, with Crystal Palace getting an amazing 1-0 victory, which handed us the impetus. Obviously, City played the day before with a 5-1 home win against Luton. But my thing with Arsenal, sort of with the crunch time of the run-in, was if teams were to falter, i.e. Man City and Liverpool, are Arsenal good enough? Are they capable enough of taking advantage? That question was posed today, and we weren't not good enough. We haven't taken advantage again. With team lineups, I'm at the stage now. I don't know what you guys feel when you watch this back, maybe tonight or tomorrow or the subsequent coming days. I'm at a point with the lineups where, look, the managers have been here long enough where us as fans probably know what the team lineups are going to be, with the exception of a couple of changes. And he's earned that trust enough to pick the best 11 to win a game of football. And if you need to change it, you make the right subs, and in terms of personnel and the timing of your subs. So I don't get too caught up loads and loads with the team in terms of who he selects, because I believe the team that was picked today was good enough to beat an Aston Villa side who have a lot to play for. Let's be honest, in terms of Champions League, but they've also let in a lot of goals, a hell of a lot of goals, Aston Villa. And the thing as well, to add to that even more, Villa played 2 days ago. 2 days ago. They've got injuries as well, and key players missing. Douglas Luiz being one of them, but there are other players that have been missing for quite a while. We look like the team that played on Thursday night and Villa played on the Tuesday, obviously with our game being against Bayern Munich. And I remember saying to a couple of the Gooners when the Liverpool game was done, so I watched it for the last sort of 10 minutes in the concourse when I got to the ground, but I'll take 1-0 now for Arsenal. I'll take 1-0. I don't care what the team lineup was, if the performance is going to be great or not great. I'll take 1-0 now. I'll bite your hand off just to get that 3 points and go to the back of the top of the table and put that gap between Liverpool and a tiny gap between Man City. And we haven't done it. I was really angry after the game. I didn't do any content in terms of TikTok or Instagram, or normally my AlbertJTV reaction I might put out on the Twitter feed the odd time. But I just stood in the concourse in block 9 when the game was done for about 10 minutes. I looked around, people were just stunned, trying to dissect the game. A lot of silence in a lot of areas. Because what is it can you really say as an Arsenal fan when you see a performance like that, especially in the second half? And Arsenal have scored the most goals in the league this season. There's a reason for that. I don't think we was majorly fantastic in the first half, but we did create opportunities. Um, and I come back to sort of the being clinical in the final third again. And Jesus with the header, for me, he's got to head that back across the goal. That to me is a common sense thing. It is a thing of a striker in that position. You have to go back across the goal. That should be your first instinct when that cross comes over from Bukayo Saka. You trying to head that ball in the bottom corner of the goalkeeper's right hand side against a goalkeeper the size of Martinez. You'd be lucky if you hit that 1 out of 10 10 attempts. Got to hit that back across the goal. If he saves it, Havertz is there. Another key moment, Saka going down the right hand side. I've seen him score from that position before, but for me, you've got to put that back across the goal. It's decision making in the key moments of the area, of the pitch. Sorry, an important part of the pitch. Havertz had the chance, we shot a goal, got it on target. That's 3 good opportunities to get the goal up, and of course, the best chance of the match in the first half, Trossard. He got to put that anywhere, and I'm surprised he's put it back in the same direction as where Martinez is standing, because he's come off from the wing, which is what you wing guy, which is what you want. Sorry, your wide man to do if the ball's coming from the opposite side of the flank. It's just got to just glide that into the opposite corner. I mean, to Martinez's right, and we're 1-0 up, and it's a different game. I don't think Villa posed us too many questions, but we had the warning shot. The warning shot was just before halftime when Zinchenko's missed the initial header, I think, which I don't know what he's doing, or it's a poor header. Gabriel's mopped it up. He's played a pass that hits Zinchenko's back. Watkins has gone through. When he hit it from where I was sitting, because I sit opposite the dugout on the halfway line, which is a really good seat. I think row 11. I thought it was in. Hit the post, thought it was in. Going to go on the other side of the goal. Would have been a different team talk. So that's the warning shot. Then you've got to come out knowing you've got to win the game. It's an important game. We were awful in the second half. Villa were better than us in every department, physicality-wise, patterns of play, link-up play, balls down the channels. They were better in every single department. Second balls, first balls. Arsenal did nothing. I thought they actually got worse in the second half. Rice, the last couple of games, performance level, completely dropped off. Saka, quiet again. Erdegaard was, again, work off the ball, was trying, but there was no cohesion at all. It's like we used up all our luck with all the chances in the first half and created nothing in the second half. And the way the game was going, particularly in that second half, there was only going to be one result. There was only going to be one team that was going to score. Yuri Tielemans is hit. What a shot. I mean, him from 25 yards out is a dangerous prospect. And I think it hit the crossbar and the post. Again, another warning sign. Couple of corners they got. Again, warning signs. And they get the goal. They get the goal. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I looked at it and I watched it back because at the time when you're on the ground, you don't really get to see all the angles. I watched it back. I think we could have done a lot better. Yes, Moreno, I think, has got the ball into the corridor of opportunity in terms of the cross. Gabriel's got across his man. I personally think Raya's got to take that. Go to the back stick. 1-0 down, Leon Bailey. In terms of the subs that came on, no impact for Arsenal. Villa bring on Leon Bailey. Impact gets the goal, 1-0 to the Villa. And you saw the players' body language is absolutely sap. Body blow. You know, that was 5 minutes to go. They get the goal, Villa. And to be honest, if it wasn't a surprise, they deserved it. They was excellent. Like I said, they bossed it in that second half. We didn't lay a glove on them. There wasn't nothing to shout about. We wasn't close in any set pieces. We didn't get behind their back line, and even if we did, that we was wasteful in the final third. The amount of times we got caught offside today, to me, was unacceptable. It's either down to laziness and not timing your runs on multiple occasions. I actually would have bought off Jesus a lot sooner. I thought he was poor, personally. That's my own personal opinion. Bought off Erdegaard, but at the time I couldn't believe it. But then there was talk after the game that there was a slight issue there, so that made sense. Fabio Vieira, was he on the bench? Partey. And I think for me, and I get a lot of Arsenal fans' anger and most importantly, frustration after the game. As I mentioned before, Villa played 2 days ago. They look more fresher than us. They've conceded a lot of goals. We've got a very good home record. We haven't conceded a lot of goals. And it's quite ironic now. The last 2 games, Bayern Munich and Aston Villa, what's been the bedrock of our season has let us down in the last couple of games. I did think Arsenal would drop points this season with the remainder of the games. I don't think it's going to be this one. Absolutely not. That's no disrespect to Aston Villa. I just didn't see it happening. And now we're relying on Man City to falter, which I don't think will happen personally. You're talking about a team of serial winners. They're going for 4 Premier League titles in a row. They don't have a history of choking. They don't have a history of not getting over the line. And I think that's the thing that frustrates me with Arsenal, is that you could say it last season because they've not been in that position a long time. And maybe that's why they choked or they didn't get over the line in terms of winning the league title. But I don't think there's any excuse for today. You was in a similar situation last season, going for a league title in a commanding position. The ball's in your court today and you failed to take it miserably, particularly in the second half. I was stunned with what I saw. People left when the first goal went in. And by the time the second goal went in, you could understand why the place was like a fire drill. You got the Villa fans singing you're going to win something. Bad results there. A massive dent. It's not over till it's over. But with my Arsenal logical head on, my AlbertJTV head on, I think we've blown it personally. And we're relying on City dropping points, which I actually think they might do still. But are Arsenal good enough, or have they got enough about them to be mentality monsters and take that opportunity? Based on what I saw today, especially the second half, absolutely not. So it's not going to be a long video. Feels like almost 14 minutes in. The season's not over. We have a massive game on Wednesday night against Bayern Munich. I hope it's Wednesday. I forgot that right. I think it is. It's a 50-50 shot. In terms of silverware, we're still on both fronts, but it's been weakened. Where the season is hanging by a thread. It is. Football can change quickly in the space of a week. A few weeks ago, Liverpool was in their hands, their favourites. Then it was Arsenal. Now it's City. And we're relying on some really, really good fortune. And I think the players let the fans down today. I think they let the fans down today massively. And you could see it when that first goal went in, man. They just looked gone for me. Obviously, the second goal, game over. Ollie Watkins comes back, man. He gets team he supports as a club. And great finish, by the way. Great finish. Great finish. Emma Smith-Rowe, I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. You got there, just that muscled him. Obviously, Rare's gone down a bit early and he's finished at 2-0. But yeah, our season's hanging by a thread, man. It really is. Things can turn quickly in football, I get it. But Arsenal have to do something, not the impossible in Munich. It's going to be tough, but we've got to give the fans something to sing about. We've got to give the fans some hope and go and put in a performance and go there and win. Because we now can't rely on the league now because it's not in our hands. When something's not in your hands, it's more difficult. People talked about Arsenal being the front runners last season, and is it better for them to be hunting? I thought it was, but obviously that wasn't the case today because they've blown it. As I said in the title, man, Gunners fluff their lines, and it is as simple as that. A lot of frustration with Arsenal fans, understandably, and I don't think any player comes out of any credit. There's no mitigating circumstances. We've got players back. There's players on the bench. Villa played 2 days ago. We've had an extra day, a couple of days ahead of them, and we put in a performance like that. Zinchenko, wow. I'm surprised he stayed as long as he did. I've mentioned this about him before. I said it a number of times during this early part of the season. You can understand with someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool, where he offers so much going forward, you can almost negate his defense responsibilities. But for me, Zinchenko doesn't offer us so much going forward that he should be even be in the team. Very sloppy, not just from a defensive point of view, but even when in possession of the ball, turns it over way too much. But people, I'm done. I'm tired. I'll get this video out. People, please drop a like, subscribe to AlbertJTV. Drop your thoughts down below in terms of what you thought of that performance. Are there any positives? I don't think there are. We go to Munich on Wednesday. It's a big, massive game. Drop your thoughts for that as well if you want to. But that is AlbertJTV over and out for another match review. So Aston Villa bag a brace at the Emirates. Arsenal, it is out of your hands. Good night. God bless people. We'll see you soon.